Now, it's nothing as a matter of any sort. It's not good, it's not bad, it's not cool, it's not awesome, it's not that I'm the greatest one ever. But the only thing there ever has been is in me, and it actually speaks through this body that is different than others. It actually speaks through this astral body that's different than others too, and can speak to those astral bodies. People think that if they hear me talking in their ears and saying, I'm talking to your higher self, and they go, I don't hear anything. I'm like, you just heard me talk. And your higher self actually hears me, but you're trying to fight off your own higher self. That's why you don't uplift yourself, because you don't want to agree with something that you know is right. That's you fighting off your astral self. Like astral, as plus real. As plus real, is plus raw, light. Like, that is right. The light came on. I mean, I'm not joking, but that's really what it is. So, with saying these things, I'm not saying it because I think I'm cool. I'm saying it because I see through God's eye, the unseeable eye. So, by showing people the stuff that I'm doing on paper and showing the stuff that I'm doing there, I mean, that's all cool and fascinating. I mean, I can do it every day, all day, because it's truly how I see. It's how I see in my mind. I see a billion things at once, but I don't have to. I can't explain it to people who are looking out in front of their eyes and saying, I'm looking at a door. I don't see a billion things at once. I'm like, you don't see all the molecules of that door? Do you not have thoughts in your head? Do you not blink? Do you not notice motion? Do you not hear things in the distance? Do you not? And when you hear those things, do you think there's something? And then if you thought that's something hard enough, you'd be able to be like, it's a duck. And then in your mind, you could see a duck. And if that duck had something and you could see the duck and you could be aware of how it's moving, because of its sound now, you can tell which way it's going to go, and you can tell what's around it because of its sound. Like, that's possible stuff. I do it because I'm able to. And I can talk about it because I do it fluently, so I don't need to sit and have a study note or a study folder to go off of. I can just do it off the top of my head because my top of my head is connected to all things there is, if that makes any sense. It's not physical either. So if I'm on stage, I get emotional as a human being because I see people not listening to me, and I'm like, come on, man, I'm really telling you the truth, and you're wanting me to prove something, and I'm trying my hardest not to get out of like spiritual truth into human character and get emotional, but I can't help it sometimes when people are like, I feel like I would scream at the top of my lungs, come on, everybody, don't you see that I'm being completely honest with you? Not like other people are saying they're being completely honest with you. They need to sit down and have something as a note for them to go off of to tell you about any of this stuff. Like, if I go into detail and I want to show it to you, I can do it in the air. But in order for me to show it to you so that you get it inside your head, so you understand it inside of your mind, I have to write it down. So me writing it down, I even mess up writing sometimes. Doesn't mean that every time I go to write an A, I write a perfect A. Sometimes I have to scribble it out. Sometimes my handwriting as a human being isn't the greatest. It's better now than it ever was. But I don't feel like I have to sit and focus on getting nice handwriting. That would be something that I'm trying to classify and clarify myself for other human beings. And I'm not a human being, and neither are you. So I'm not an alien, you're not an alien, but we're all aliens to our own body. Now, I'm the only person on earth who is not an alien to my true body. Like, we're not aliens to our physical bodies, what we look like on the outside. Sometimes we study it in medicine and see things on TV and medical breakthroughs and shit like that. We'll watch a video and see what our bodies might look like inside, and we have x-rays. But those are all different forms of one human body. Even the mind is a form of one human body. It gets contorted and mixed up with other people's human minds. But there's a higher mind than the human mind. And the astral mind gets actually tied up too with what you're thinking about and what you think is real. What isn't physical, but what you think is real. And then there's a higher mind that is real physical and real astral. I call that divine astral. Now, I've been there, but when I say I've been there, I'm not saying it from a place where I heard it in a book and I'm reciting it to you. I can tell you anything about any spiritual master because I was them. And when I say it, I'm not talking about some figurative imaginary thing where, I can see it and it was really cool and it had this. It's like to the depth of the deaths, to the pain, to the pleasure, to the great times, to the endings of universes. Like, craziest stuff that people can't get in their head deep enough to really sympathize or empathize or just understand. I don't want them to sympathize, but like they can't see what Dan's going through. They can't see it. They just don't understand because all they see is this outside body, and they don't understand that inside him and everywhere around him, he feels physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and in his astral body. Like, spiritually is way bigger, but I would say divine astral is those two mixed together. So I feel it in that body. That's the only thing I have. All those other ones are just pieces of that. Just like there's one rainbow with 7 colors, or 1 week with 7 days, or 1 year with 12 months. It's only 1 year. There's only one life. You don't die. You just think you do. You turn the channel of your TV over to another channel, and you become something completely different, and you could never imagine yourself as what you once were. You can't imagine yourself as a bug. I don't have to imagine myself as a bug. I know I am them. It's just I have sensory perceptions from this landmass of skin and flesh and all that other stuff, bones and, we are just the elements. And we are a mixture of that plus what we put in ourselves, in our bodies, and in our minds. And we're making those two things into that one eye that is really messed up. And that one eye in the center of your mind body and your body wants to rock the body, which means sit it still, and then rock the body, which means really think hard and become the one. So, I'm not saying this stuff because I think it's cool and funny. Like, Dan didn't know he was going to say any of this. He's like, I just got to record something. So I pick up my phone and I start talking, and that comes out. And now I'm getting ready to turn it off because I'm like, I don't want to keep talking forever. And I looked at my phone and I saw my reflection of Dan's face, of my face on the phone. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to stop recording. So now I'm coming back to myself, just like when you come out of a meditation back to normal. And I channel from a divine place into human words. So it sounds too normal for people. And they're like, what a weirdo. And I understand that. But I love you too much to let you think that I'm just stupid or think that I'm just goofy, weird, or wrong. And I keep telling you the truth, no matter what you think of me. That's love. And if you don't think it is, that's fine. You're allowed to think that's not what love would be. You would think love is being perfectly nice to everybody and everything. I am perfectly nice to the way things should be. I say them so that you can become the way you want to be perfect. Because if you don't do it that way, you're still going to have a mental body that's really fighting to understand what's going on.